Good day, righteous ones. Welcome to the Righteous Talk Show. I'm your host, Jody. What better way to start or end your day than with the Word of God? Or even in the middle of the day, sometimes we do need a picker-upper. Sometimes we get stressed out during the day. Sometimes things don't go our way. Sometimes it seems like everything is falling apart. But guess what? God has a word for you. In Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So no matter what's going on, no matter what, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes. Don't stress, because everything happens for a reason. So don't stress. Don't let them folks at work get on your nerves. Don't let them people in the traffic cut you off and make you late or whatever the case may be. Just keep it moving. God is with you. So today we have a hot topic, and the hot topic is wrong imprisonment. Yes, it happened in the Bible. It sure did. It sure did. It happened in Genesis 39. Let's read Genesis 39, and we're going to start at verse 7. And it says, "Joseph was very handsome and well-built young man, and Potiphar's wife began to look at him lustfully. 'Come and sleep with me,' she demanded, but Joseph refused. 'Look,' he told her, 'my master trusts me with everything in his entire household. No one here has more authority than I do. He has held back nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How could I do such a wicked thing? It would be a great sin against God.' She kept putting pressure on Joseph day after day, but he refused to sleep with her, and he kept out of her way as much as possible. One day, however, no one else was around when he went in to do his work. She came and grabbed him by his cloak, demanding, 'Come on, sleep with me.' Joseph tore himself away, but he left his cloak in her hand as he ran from the house." This man ran like he was being chased by wolves. When she saw that he was holding his cloak and he fled, she called out to her servant. Soon all the men came running. "Look," she said, "my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fool of us. He came into my room to rape me." But, let me repeat that again. "He came in my room to rape me, but I screamed." All right? This is in the Bible. This is in the Bible. Let me keep going. "When he heard me scream, he ran outside and got away, but left his cloak behind with me. She kept the cloak with her until her husband came home. Then she told him her story. 'The Hebrew slave you brought into our house tried to come in and fool around with me,' she said. 'But when I screamed, he ran outside, leaving his cloak with me.' Potiphar was furious. He heard his wife's story about how Joseph had treated her, so he took Joseph and threw him into the prison where the king's prisoners were held, and there he remained. But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison and showed him his faithful love, and the Lord made Joseph favorite with the prison warden. Before long, the warden put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners and over everything that happened in the prison. The warden had no more worries because Joseph took care of everything. The Lord was with him and caused everything he did to succeed. Yeah, she lied on Joseph. And this man ran from this woman like he was being chased by wolves. This woman wanted to commit adultery. And Joseph knew better not to. Joseph knew better, and he was such an upright, upstanding, moral, good man. He knew better not to commit adultery, because if he had slept with her, he would have been committing adultery too. So he knew better. Not only that, he's grateful for what Potiphar has been doing for him. Right? So that means he's loyal. And now this Jezebel, because that's the spirit she has. She has the spirit of Jezebel. Man, you gotta know when a woman is not right. You gotta know the signs, what to look for when a woman is wicked and evil and just downright have no morals. Because women with no morals, they'll get you locked up or dead. Okay? You got to know how to sniff these women and avoid them at all cost. Because this woman kept pressuring Joseph to sleep. Wow, why is your husband not enough, ma'am? Because I can't seem to understand why this woman is pressuring this man just because he's handsome. Yes, but you can't let your flesh rule you. It would get you in problems. Men too. Men, sometimes you got to learn when to say no and run. When you see women with low standards, no morals, they lie, they steal, they'll do anything for $1. Anything, the lowest of the lowest, they'll do it. Even if you ask her to lie for you or cover up for you, trust and believe. Later on down the line, she is going to lie on you. Because a person that will lie in any circumstance, they will lie to get you in trouble if you make them angry enough. So you have to know these qualities of women when you're dating or single. Especially men with wealth. Because a lot of women, they seek out men that are wealthy for a come up. I don't say anything is wrong with a man wanting to help a woman, which when a man meets a woman and a woman meets a man, they become helpmate to each other. It's a vice versa thing. It's not just the man that's just supposed to be supporting the woman and not just the woman supposed to be taking from the man. When God made Adam and Eve, God told Adam, this is your helpmate. Helpmate. That means if you were doing something in life, this woman is supposed to help you. If this woman is doing something in life, that man is supposed to help the woman. No one person is supposed to rely on another. If one person is down, yes. If one person is sick, yes. It falls on the other person because that's your helpmate. That's your wife. That's your husband. That's your spouse. But at the end of the day, you're not supposed to be just sitting back. Oh, gimme. It don't go like that. It don't work like that. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. Helpmate. Now, when you see a woman and you go on a first date, don't go to that woman. Don't go nowhere near that woman's house. You don't even want to know where she lives. All right? Because the next thing if you don't want to see her another time, what is going to happen is she's going to say you ghosted her. In her mind, that's what she's saying. And in her mind, she's going to have this notion, oh, but we had such a good date, so why did he not call back? And to make matters worse, if you go to her house that night and sleep with her and don't call her back the next day, if that woman is devious enough, your life is ruined. Finito. Because if she's angry enough, and even if you guys didn't have sex, she can be angry enough, and if she's really in the head, if she's messed up in the head like that, she could damage herself in many ways and go to the police station and say, this man did such and such to me. Knowing well, you was nowhere near her you don't even know how that got on her. Right? Now, imagine if you had sex with that woman and your DNA somehow is left in that woman's house, apartment, or on her body. And then she hasn't heard from you for a day or two. And she has some evidence that you were in her apartment. Whether it's a fingernail, whether it's a piece of hair, whether it's your clothes, your underwear, whatever you have left behind, she can use that as evidence. Even if it's those rubber boots that you put on, a condom. I don't know if I can say on this platform, but even if it's a condom and you leave it behind, she can say, yeah, and this is what he used, and take it down to the Popo station and get you arrested and say you raped her. You got to be careful with these women. You got to figure out these characters of these women before you get deeper into them, because they will take your life. Figuratively and literally. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. If you see a woman and you are interested in her, once you figure out that character of that woman, there should be no hesitation of taking her to the altar and marrying her. Because what's going to happen? That woman has good character. And with that good character, with that woman, she's going to make your life so much better. There's a lot of things you won't have to even consider or worry about. She'll make sure the house is taken care of. She'll make sure that, you guys are sustained in a lot of ways. Mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. She'll make sure that the household is sustained and running okay, and business-wise. So you got to figure out the characteristics of a lot of these women that you go on a date. A lot of men want 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 women, want to sleep with Jane tonight, Mary tomorrow, Martha the next day. Suzanne come after. No. That's not how it works. Because one of those women, or even two, not so sane in the head. They're devious. They're witches. Literally. They have nothing good in their mind and hearts. And it just take a little thing to tick them off. Because you see what Potiphar's wife did? Because he would not sleep with her and he ran, that possibly hurt her ego. That hurt her ego. And with her ego being hurt like that, that's why she lied. Because in her mind, she's saying, what? Am I not good enough to be slept with? But that's not it. Because Joseph knew better than to sin against God. Because if he had slept with her, he would have been sinning against God. And the wrath of God would have been up on him. And men, you're supposed to be able to say no, especially if you're married. Don't fall into temptation when you see a woman and she got a big booty and big boobs, and don't let that fool you. Don't let that make you weak. You're supposed to be stronger than that. Because at the end of the day, when you commit adultery, you're not just hurting your wife. If you have children, you're hurting your children. You want to know how? Okay. When a man makes his wife insignificant and step out on her, it doesn't just hurt the wife. The wife may become angry, bitter, and she might not take it out on you, but she might take it out on the kids. And if you love your kids, you would not let your children suffer through that. Because then she's not going to want to be, especially if she has boys and the boys looks just like you. She's going to be reminded of that hurt, that pain, right? Especially if you did something so devious, she's gonna be hurt. Perfect example. And this goes into two things that I was saying. When a male wants more than one woman, there's no way he can sustain more than one woman. He cannot, because somebody's gonna be left out. And then on top of that, if you're married and you get another woman pregnant, 9 out of 10 times you will not be able to sustain that outside child. And when that seed is going to be considered a bastard. And 9 out of 10 times their life is going to be extremely hard. If you do these things, you're selfish. And you deserve every punishment that's coming to you. Right? This is why when a man gets tempted and sleep with a woman outside of his marriage, that's why things for him never seems to go well. His life gets harder and harder. His life will get harder and harder. And it might seem like he's living a good life, ladies, but he's really not. Because he has to live with that guilt on the inside. Most of the times he's thinking, did I do the right thing? Or, man, I really messed up. I could have did something. I could have did better. Now, back to Abraham and Sarah. Right? When Sarah told Abraham to go sleep with Hagar and have Ishmael and had to send them away, right? Because Sarah couldn't take Ishmael or Hagar no more. And Hagar and her son struggled. They suffered. They were almost starving. They literally were starving. So, you're not supposed to have more than one wife or more than one woman because somebody's going to be left behind. And adultery or having sex with a woman that you hardly even know, it's a no-no. If you meet a woman today and have sex with her today, and 9 months down the line you hear that you have a child, that child's life is gonna be terrible. 9 out of 10 times that child's life is gonna be terrible. It's a law. It's a principle of life. It's not made up. It's a cycle. It continues. It doesn't stop. There are laws and principles of this life that we have to follow. So if you let your body rule you to go and commit adultery, you deserve every bit. Even if she lied on you and said you raped her, you deserve it. Now, if you was nowhere near and you avoid that woman, that witch, because that's what she is, that witch that wanna sleep with you and don't even know you, she is the one that's gonna not let you have a family. She's gonna be the one that's either you end up in prison or in your grave. So learn the characteristics of a good woman, and then you'll be all right. You won't have to worry about nothing. And give it time, because people can't pretend. Just like men can't pretend, women can't pretend too. So be careful. Don't end up behind bars because of a Jezebel woman. Because of a woman with Jezebel spirit. So like, share, comment, subscribe to all our social media platforms at Righteous Talk Show at YouTube, at Righteous Talk Show on Instagram, at Facebook, Jody Can Will. That's JODYCAN. Last name WILL. And that way you'll get more notifications when we go live, so we can get into deeper discussions and talk about deeper issues and topics and find the solutions to a lot of life's issues. All right. Until then, if you ain't righteous, get righteous. God love you and I love you. Ciao.